So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Li Xiaoyu, and I'm a postdoctoral researcher in ecology at Peking University, and also a scientific consultant of Shan Shui Conservation Center. And today I'm honored to be your facilitator for today's session. And we are delighted to have with us the speaker, Ms. Liang Miaomiao, who is also a scientific consultant from Shan Shui and brings a wealth of experience in community-based biodiversity monitoring, particularly focusing on snow leopard populations in the Three River Source region of the Tibetan Plateau. And her work is not only critical for understanding and protecting this iconic species, but also highlights the powerful role that local communities play in conservation. And today she will share insights into how community-based monitoring systems are designed, implemented, and sustained in one of the most ecologically significant and challenging regions of the world. So if you have any questions, we welcome any questions, and we suggest that you could type them in the chat areas first, and we will collect and provide the answers after the presentation is completed. So let's give a warm virtual welcome to Ms. Liang Miaomiao, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Xiaoyu, for introducing me and the topic. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to share our work on the community-based biodiversity monitoring system and management in Sanjiangyuan region. I will walk you through why community-based monitoring matters, what we're doing in Sanjiangyuan, what we achieved, and what we have learned. Let me start with a simple question: why community-based monitoring? As you may already know, large-scale and long-term monitoring data is highly valuable for scientific research and conservation actions. But collecting such data requires substantial time and manpower investment. Relying solely on scientists makes this extremely challenging, especially in remote and harsh landscapes like the Tibetan Plateau. However, local communities have lived on their land for generations. They know the terrain, the seasons, the wildlife, and the risks. Engaging them in monitoring could effectively overcome the limitations of relying on scientists alone. And community-based monitoring could also integrate this deep and multi-generational indigenous knowledge. This approach recognizes local people as experts in their own environment. The local people could provide essential context, historical baseline, and even identify subtle changes in weather patterns or animal behavior that outside researchers might miss. Just as importantly, engaging local communities could foster the strong community ownership, so that protecting the ecosystem is not just the responsibility of scientists or outsiders, but a shared mission rooted in local people's daily life. And this is the key to ensuring the long-term sustainability of our program. So our focal landscape today I'm going to share is the Sanjiangyuan region, the orange area in the map. This region is in the heart of the Qinghai Tibet Plateau and also is the source area of three majors in Asia: the Yellow River, the Yangtze River, and Lantang River, which also known as the Mekong River. It's a mosaic landscape of alpine meadows, river valleys, shrublands, and rock mountains. So it is estimated that China contains 60% snow leopard habitat, with a large proportion of that is considered a high-quality habitat. And the Sanjiangyuan region is one of the core areas for snow leopard distribution in China. Like you can see in the map, the brown area is the potential snow leopard habitat. Roughly 30% of the Sanjiangyuan region is potential snow leopard habitat. And the significance of the Sanjiangyuan region is reflected in the government conservation. In 2000, Sanjiangyuan National Nature Reserve was established in this area. Then in 2016, it took a major step forward, becoming one of the very first pilot areas for China's new national park system. Finally, in 2021, its status was officially declared at the global COP15 Biodiversity Conference, making Sanjiangyuan one of the first ever national parks established in China. The yellow, pink, and green area in the map is the Sanjiangyuan National Park. So as for our work, we have been conducting snow leopard research in the region since 2009, and since 2011, we have been working with 6 communities in this region to develop and maintain a community-based monitoring program. Until now, a total of 323 local monitors have participated, maintaining 385 camera traps along with other survey methods. Our aim is to build a monitoring system that covers the entire ecosystem, from grasslands to herbivores to carnivores, and in some communities, we also conducted raptor survey and glacier monitoring. So, among 6 communities, 4 are located in the Yangtze River Basin, which is Moqu, Yaqu, Yunta, Jiatang, and 2 of them along the Lancang River, which are Diqing and Onsai. The landscape of these 6 communities are not uniform. Some are relatively flat, while others are more rugged. Some are located at higher elevation and others at lower ones. Among these locations, snow leopards have been detected, except for Jiatang. So this diversity of landscapes translates into different wildlife communities. For example, in Jiatang, which is a flatter and low elevation grassland, it sustains a rich diversity and abundance of mesocarnivores such as Tibetan fox, red fox, a palace cat, Chinese mountain cat, etc. While the only large carnivores are wolves and Tibetan brown bears, and dominant ungulates are Tibetan gazelles and cows. Moreover, the wetlands here are the home to kinds of cranes. While in areas like Onsai, at a slightly higher elevation, is characterized by a mosaic of grasslands, shrublands, and rock mountains, this habitat supports a more complex carnivore community. In addition to wolves and Tibetan brown bears, it's also home to 2 large cat species, the snow leopard and the leopard. The common ungulates here include blue sheep, white-lipped deer, and alpine musk deer. And in Diqing, this rugged high-altitude landscape, the large carnivore communities include the snow leopard, wolf, and Tibetan brown bear. Here, the ungulate population is dominated by blue sheep. So here, let me dive into our core monitoring method, camera trap monitoring. Camera trap deployment strategy depends on the monitoring objectives or target species. For example, in Diqing, Onsai Yaqu, we chose a 5 by 5 kilometer grid size because it approximates the minimum home range of the snow leopard, which is the target species we're interested in. In Jiatang, before 2023, we used a 2 by 2 kilometer grid, and since 2023, to align with the doctoral research project focusing on mesocarnivore, we repositioned cameras close to animal burrows in order to better capture these target species and their behaviors. As for data collection frequency, it depends on how difficult cameras are to access and how continuous we want the data to be. For example, we collect data quarterly in most communities due to difficult accessibility and every 2 months in Jiatang. For camera trap management, most monitors participate in monitoring voluntarily, and some of them were recommended by the local government. Once participated, monitors receive trainings on the purpose of monitoring, how to use and maintain camera traps, and some basic ecological knowledge. And each community also has a monitor management group, which consists of local people and is responsible for coordinating communication. and supervision is consistent during monitoring. In Diqing, for example, cameras are checked by monitors roughly once per month to ensure they are functioning, batteries are healthy, and storage is sufficient. Monitors are also required to upload timestamped and location-tagged photos to the WeChat group, as you can see in the pictures below, to verify their camera maintenance visits. In Jiatang, monitors also take photos of the camera screen showing the time, storage, and battery, which help us confirm that every camera is working properly. All of this information is then systematically recorded in our camera maintenance form, creating a detailed record for each camera, monitor, and maintenance visits. So beyond supervision, appropriate incentive mechanisms are essential to sustain monitors' motivation and enthusiasm. We occasionally provide modest financial subsidies and in-kind support, such as equipment and maintenance supplies to support the monitoring work. And each year, we evaluate monitors' performance based on attendance records, timeliness in deploying and retrieving cameras, the number of maintenance, and the working days of camera. For excellent monitors, they will receive certificates of honor. And in Diqing, we add a special incentive since last year. The excellent monitors earn the privilege of naming a snow leopard captured by a local monitoring network. And this can effectively boost their sense of honor and pride. In addition to monitoring-based incentives, we also have implemented additional measures that let the community actually benefit. In on-site, we've supported ecotourism. So local people are trained as guides and supported in running homestays. This creates a new income stream that enables local communities to directly benefit from monitoring and conservation actions. And a small proportion of this income is contributed to a community conservation fund. This fund is used for conservation, either to support wildlife rescue or to purchase monitoring-related equipment. And with instances of Tibetan brown bears damaging houses increasing, so in this video, there's a brown bear in their house. So basically, for this instance, we have provided funding and technical support to help the community install bear-proof facilities for their homes, such as reinforced doors and windows and electric fencing. We also implemented human-wildlife conflict compensation fund in some communities, which compensate local people for wildlife-related damages. These practical solutions help local people feel more positive about coexistence, which in turn strengthens participation in monitoring and conservation. In addition to camera traps, we also use other methods to monitor. For instance, in Diqing Yaqu Moqu, since April 2023, we have conducted ungulate transect surveys with 70 monitors across 33 transects, typically before and after the breeding season. This helps us track ungulate populations that are key prey for large carnivores and vital indicators of grassland health. While in Diqing, we also started glacier monitoring since last summer, and it was proposed by local people. They want to understand the changes happening to the glaciers in their village. After discussion, we decided to monitor 5 key glaciers from 7 valleys and then form 7 glacier monitor teams. The monitoring team conduct a fixed point photography and mark the position of the glacier's tongue every year. And in Jiatang, we also conducted crane monitoring focused on black-necked cranes and common cranes. This program began in 2018 and runs every spring and autumn. About 50 monitors contribute roughly 60 monitoring days each year. There are two papers showing what we have achieved through this long-term monitoring, mainly focusing on the snow leopard. And in this paper, research team integrated camera trap data from 12 study sites across the Sanjiangyuan region, collected between 2015 and 2021. It assessed the data's representativeness using a two-habitat stratification and applied SECR models to estimate snow leopard density and population status. The results indicate an average density of 0.9 individuals per 100 kilometers and an estimated population of 1,002 individuals. And according to the results, the snow leopard population in the Sanjiangyuan region accounts for 11% to 21% of the global population. And based on all our biodiversity monitoring experiences, here are a few tips we summarized for anyone considering community-based monitoring. First, ensure both requirement and motivation. This means there must be a scientific need for data and a genuine desire from the community to engage. Because we found that monitors is driven by two kinds of motivation. One is external, the other one is internal. External drivers are tangible benefits like subsidies and policies that help residents balance conservation work with their livelihoods. Internal drivers are personal, such as a commitment to traditional culture or the pride that comes from a job well done. Second, always remember to build the feedback loops. Communities should see how their data are used, what the results mean. We should always remember to listen to their thoughts and share our scientific findings. A great example of this comes from Diqing. Knowing from personal experience where to find Arkley and Kang, several monitors suggested to place cameras in those exact spots, and we have also successfully captured images of these animals. Besides, we are currently printing the on-site snow leopard individual handbook for the local community. It shows every identifiable snow leopard captured by camera trap. Could help our local monitors get to know each snow leopard in their village. And third, implement appropriate incentives. Recognition, modest financial support, and occasional special privilege go a long way. And don't underestimate the power of meaningful non-monetary rewards, such as naming a snow leopard. Another strategy I want to mention is to engage local government to formally praise the monitors at village assemblies or award ceremonies. This could boost their community standing and enhances their sense of honor. Finally, co-management is essential. In each community, we facilitated the establishment of a co-management committee to strengthen community self-governance. This committee would discuss different kinds of conservation work and set regulations. This could shift monitoring from being a project that is done to or for a community to a system that is owned by the community. Before I close, I want to mention a case when we identify community leaders. So in Diqing, we found a perfect example of this in the group known as the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood is a highly respected and influential social group within the local community. So what makes them such an ideal partner is their genuine and pre-existing interest in wildlife conservation and environmental protection. This wasn't an idea we had to introduce to them. It's a value they already held. So when we collaborate, what can our project get from this partnership? The answer is immerse. By working with the Brotherhood, our project gains instant credibility and local trust. And what we and what can they get in return, this partnership provides them with a structured platform to turn their passion into action. We offer technical training, resources like monitoring equipment, and official recognition for their vital contributions. It enhances both their personal sense of honor and their standing within the community. And in final, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to local government, National Park Administration, and most importantly, the community members and kind-hearted villagers. They are not just our monitors, they are our trusted partners and friends. Thank you for listening, and I welcome. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Miao Miao, for this insightful and comprehensive presentation. And from your sharing, we have learned that the biodiversity monitoring can truly integrate science with the community participation. And it's not simply about working for the communities, but rather working with communities. And this approach greatly enhances the motivation of indigenous people in the conservation. Okay, let's see whether the audience have any questions. If so, you could just unmute and speak directly with us.
Hi, thank you so much, Dr. Lee and Liang Miaomiao. Such a nice presentation and such good work you guys are doing. I wanted to ask one thing, regarding this glacier monitoring you mentioned. Can you give us a little bit more information about that? What is it about? How is it done? What is it done for? And how does it benefit?
Yeah, sure. So the glacier monitor, actually, it was proposed by the local people. So they found that like they can sense the glacier is changing, but they don't know how they change. So after we discussed, we decided to monitor the glacier every summer. So we basically went to the glacier. In front of the glacier, we take a fixed point photograph. That means every year we go to the same place and we take the picture of the glacier. And if we put these photos together, maybe 5 or 10 years later, we could see what happened to the glacier. And another one is mark the glacier's tongue. So we basically so we go to the place that we think it is the bottom line of the glacier tongue, and we mark with some kind of pen that is stable on that mark. So basically, maybe a big stone or something. And next year we go to the same place to see if the glacier tongue moved upward or like go down. And these methods are, I think, is actually the very simple methods to monitor glacier. And we're still trying some, I would say, high-tech monitoring methods. So we try to use the drones or the camera traps to more scientifically monitor the glacier. So basically, this monitoring is only started from last year. So we're still looking for improvements in the later. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Just a follow up to try and understand this better. So, I'm just wondering if, of course, this might have been something to do with the climate change observations that the community might have made. Is that so?
Yeah. Actually, the idea comes from one villagers. So so there's a lake. He hasn't seen like in 5 years 5 years before, but with the glacier melting, I think. So there's a lake appears
Right.
in the mountain. So he thinks maybe this is something we can do.
Okay. So it's something to do with like potential disaster risks also that might, if you're able to monitor it over time and if it increases the risks potentially. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your question.
What type of camera do you use? Because we try to use a different type of camera trap, but some type of camera doesn't work after sometimes because not good quality. That's why I want to know what type of camera do you use, and what is the best. I want to use your experience with camera.
We also try different kinds of camera, but they're all Chinese brand. I don't know if you can buy them. I will type the brand in the chat. It's UOV. So that's basically the most common camera we used. It could perfectly worked in high elevation. So we think it's the best options we have found. There's a link, UOV technology. You can try it.
Thank you very much. And
Yeah, no worries.
I'll try this camera if I can buy it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Do the camera record images or videos? Yes, we set the cameras to take 2 photos and 20 seconds videos.
Hi. Yeah, I might
Hi.
go. Hi, thank you so much for your great presentation. I was just wondering, with the other types of research that you did, so the cranes and the glaciers and all these things, was that partially to make it easier to kind of piggyback off something that was already happening to also do the snow leopard work? Or was it also a matter of buy-in, that people were like, well, this is what we're working on. If you help with this, we want to know about the glacier, or we want to know about cranes, make your snow leopards fit in around our existing work? Like, how did those other species kind of come into it, if you like?
So for the cranes, maybe Xiaoyu could answer this question. Yeah, she's responsible for the crane monitoring. 1 second.
Yes, because the cranes, the black-necked cranes, is some kind of star species that is very famous here, and is a very important species in that ecological system. So the local monitors, which is the local indigenous people, they also have their interest to know that what is happening with those cranes, and are they increasing or decreasing, and whether there's other human activities influence their survival, or some other factors, so maybe influence the cranes. So those also the local people's interests, and we just organize them and teach them how to scientifically monitor the cranes, and then we let them to also to do something to that protection, to the protection of the cranes.
So it is a bit of a buy-in thing then, a sort of a tip for community-based conservation work, that it's important to give people the chance to be involved with what they want to know about, and then they're more likely to kind of help you with what you want to know about. Am I getting it right?
Yes, I think they are. It is the both of our interest. It's
yeah.
also, yeah, it's what we want to know, and it's also they want to know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I have a question. Did the project include any educational activity for local communities before or during the project? I mean, by knowing them, the area and the wildlife surrounding them, did the project try to give them a feeling of belonging to the place or encourage them more involvement beside giving them money or other things like that? And if so, you do this, what were the outcomes? How much it was effective? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. It's very insightful actually, because indeed in one of our communities, we also tried kind of like local education, I would say. So basically that's like we gathered the elderly in the community, and we combine the scientific knowledge and also indigenous knowledge, and we kind of like we chat with local children. So that's kind of thing that we try to do in one of our communities. And sometimes we also have some group like students like coming from outside. They also, so the local people would work as the guide. So they teach these children to know about their own homeland. I think this is much more meaningful than we thought, because the local education actually kind of I wouldn't say disappear, but kind of lost the education about the nature. So this is maybe something we will try more in the future. Does that answer your question?
Thank you so much. And if you have any action plan on educational or any PowerPoint that you share with children, I wish you can share them with me. I will put my email on the chat box. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure, of course. Thank you. If
There's
Ha,
another one hands
I
up.
don't know if I pronounce it.
Yeah, you actually
Yeah.
pronounced it very well. Thank you. So thanks again for the insightful talk. And I wanted to ask actually two questions that are unrelated to each other. The first one is technical. When you capture all these materials, pictures, videos, somebody then needs to go over all these materials and say that's a leopard or that's a bear or that's something else. Do you do that with AI? Do you do that by experts? Does the community help? That's question number one. Question number two is you need a lot of resources to run such a project, to subsidize the population, to help them. How do you? I'm running some citizen science projects from a university, and we always have to chase money, grants, and things like that. But what do you do, or do you have any tips about that to maintain the project?
Yeah. Okay, for the first question, my work actually is to run over all these pictures or videos captured by the camera trap. So we like Shan Shui, we would do this process. But first we'll use the model to filter all the blank pictures. So that's one of the software we have. And after that, we only need to check the pictures. The AI already classified as animals. So that's already saved a lot of time for us. And for the second question, okay. Yes, for these communities, we already have some projects fund. They have the money for us to run this project. But actually, I think after only a few communities only have this funding from 2020 or 2021. So before that, that's actually driven by the local monitors, their own interests, I would say. Yeah. So I think they actually did a lot. Because they do it for free.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Did you have any issue working with people and then losing camera traps, for example, due to people who were not happy or were in conflict with this working with you? How did you address this issue? Yes, I would say different communities face different situations. So I think why yes, there of course there were some camera trap are lost, but sometimes it's really, so it happened, like, but so we can't do anything about it. So we just provide a new camera for the monitors. But sometimes if it's too frequent, I would try to find out if it's true, because some monitors, they may just take the camera trap to their own home. So that's totally another thing. I think if there's someone in the village, they conflict with us, they don't want to work with us, that's just the thing happened, but that's not the reason. So what we have to do is to find out the actual reason. So why the villagers, they don't want to work with us? So what happened? Because in this community-based work, lots of people will be involved. Local community, Shan Shui, which is us, and also the government. So there are a lot of stakeholders in this work. So to find out their real needs is quite important here. Wonder what the human population density is around the landscape and what influence do they have on the native wildlife? Are they dependent on natural resource for subsistence, for example? So basically their main income comes from the comes from the husbandry. So they're domestic yak, domestic sheep. So that's basically what they need from the landscape. So basically they live on the grasslands, I would say. And not a lot of people live around the landscape. And the main influence they have on the wildlife is the grazing. But some communities already located in the national park, so there's already a clear regulation that you can't graze on this land or you can graze on that land. So there's already a regulations for that. So when you work, you couldn't just think that these monitors works for us, work for the science. So you have to so it's like they want to know their landscape, they want to know their homeland, and so we provide some technical trainings for them so they get to know better about their homeland. It's not about they work for us, it's about we work together. I think this mind, you have to set it before you work in the community. Okay. This is another question is, Do you have any program for compensation to decrease conflict among local people, and how you share the money between people to consider equality? Yes, we have 2 communities that already or have implemented such a human wildlife conflict compensation fund. So we set the rule. So if the yak was damaged by the wildlife, we'll give them a 500 yuan each yak, and for the sheep is 200 yuan for each sheep. And basically we'll set this regulation and discuss this regulation with the local community first. So if they agree, then we start this compensation process. Oh, okay.
Sorry, Miaomiao. Ivan has asked, do you use AI technologies in your work?
AI. We will use a software to filter the blank images that captured by the camera traps. So that's the one of, I would say, AI to save our time. But right now we're still working with another company, so we together to try to launch a species identification platform. But this project is still going on, so we haven't used other AI technology right now.
Another question about the compensation, saying please share more about how you choose who's receiving any types of financial compensations and which instances lead to which types of compensation and how you manage it.
Actually, in compensation fund, we only provide the money and also set the regulation, and we supervise them. But the main force here is the local government, actually. So they will go through all the applicants, and they will go through all their photos they've taken, because the local people have to take pictures of the damaged livestock, and then the government will go through all the photos, and then, as I mentioned before, every 500 yuan for the yak, every 200 yuan for each sheep, and then we'll just supervise and to check what government already checked. So that's how this works.
Thank you. And Chunla has asked, do you use community collected data for habitat modeling or other ecological monitoring?
For do you use me? Yes. I think in the presentation, there's a paper that one of our colleagues published is about the snow leopard habitat and snow leopard population dynamics in Sanjiangyuan. So this used a lot of data we collected from the community. This first large scale assessment.
Thanks, Miaomiao. And another question, do any of the local communities use livestock guarding dogs as a way to protect from predation? Do you know if they are trained and bonded to their livestock? How are they kept? Vaccinations and healthcare. I know in some regions livestock dogs are kept, but the education on how to train them and be efficient is not very good.
Yeah, we actually done a survey on these guarding dogs. Yes, they will use these guarding dogs as the way to protect from predation. And in my experience, they're not have some vaccinations or healthcare. Yeah.
Yes, and in other communities that such as in Jiatang, that they have dogs, but the dogs are not used to guard their livestock. They use the dogs to guard the house. So the dog will not go out with the herd to the mountain, onto the mountain. They just stay at home. And also without vaccinations and other healthcare.
Yeah. They'll use the same allow comparison. For several communities, the target species is the snow leopard. So we basically use the 5 kilometer great size because we want to know the snow leopard population. And for these communities, we'll also discuss with the monitors because they know if there's any place that they cannot access, and that's the place we won't deploy the cameras. But other than that, I think it's quite logic to compare these compare the snow leopard population between different communities.
So I think we're done. Miao Miao and Zhao Yu, thank you so much. That was so interesting. And thank you for the participants' questions. That was amazing. We learned a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll send you both a list of with the emails of what everyone has requested for. And you could just send on the presentation and the papers to them. Is that okay?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.